2004 has been a pretty good year. We're happy. Why are we happy? We're happy because of the growth in volume. Volume is plus 4.2%, so that's a good achievement. And this has been done applying, especially in Europe, what we call a selective commercial policy. What do we mean by selective commercial policy? It means knowing and having the willingness and the courage to drop some less profitable sales. So it means we are ready, and we have been ready, to sacrifice in some countries, in some markets, in some segments, drop some unprofitable cars, which means good profit.
Which cars are you dropping?
It's not cars, it's more a segment. For instance, just an example, in Germany, for many years we used to sell thousands of Kangoos to Deutsche Post. And every year we had to answer a proposal. And this year, I mean last year, we just decided not to submit because the conditions of the market in 2004 have been deteriorating. So what used to be more or less profitable wasn't profitable anymore. So no Kangoos in Deutsche Post last year.
Margins are out in February. How do you think those are going to do?
Excuse me?
Obviously sales have done very well, analysts are
Yep.
very happy.
Yeah.
Margins out in February. How are margins operating?
Well, margins are pretty good thanks to this commercial policy. So the total answer to your question will be done by Mr. Schweitzer early February with the announcement of financial results.
2005, you've talked about stability. Is that a good thing? I mean, you've talked about stability in Western Europe, really no increase in sales. What does this do to penetration, and why should we really be worried?
Well, stability of the market. Well, we cannot do very much about the market. Stability in terms of market share, I think it's an achievement when you're a leader of the market and resist the competition. So, and especially since we intend to go on with this selective commercial policy. Market share, okay, it's important. Profit is more important. So we will privilege next year, I mean this year, again, profit and this commercial selective policy.
The Logan has been launched a few months ago. If European markets are morose, what does this really do to the Logan? How do you expect the Logan to perform?
The Logan, first of all, has been always dedicated to new markets or recent emerging markets. So it's Romania, it's big projects like Iran, maybe some others coming, and other markets outside of Europe and outside of Western Europe. So what's the result today? Romania, it's a huge success. It's more than 30,000 orders have been taken in a few months, which is more or less higher than expected, but let's say normal. Outside of Romania, that's another story, because the brand Dacia wasn't known or at all, or wasn't well known anyway. And in these markets, the success is faster than we thought. So what will Logan, or how will Logan help us in this market in Europe, in this part of Europe? The markets in Central Europe have been decreasing since the entrance of these markets in May 2004. Markets are down, there's huge amounts of imports coming from Western Europe. So it will hurt the Renault brand like everybody else. We will resist in terms of market share, but volume will be down. We will have a tool through Logan other brands won't have, since it will be at that level of price the only alternative really to used car coming from outside. And this is probably why already now we're seeing a success much higher than we thought.
You've talked about the new 10 countries that have joined the European Union,
yeah.
And you find that you've said you're very disappointed with the entry, and above all with Poland. Why have they been detrimental to Renault? Why is this the AC10 countries?
It's a market, so it's not to Renault, nothing personal to Renault, but it has been hurting the markets. Why? First, because they had to change, to enter Europe, they had to change some fiscal regulations, so which have been hurting the market, but this was more or less foreseen. But the huge factor is huge amounts of imports, totally free to come from Western Europe at a level such that it is hurting the new car market. So that's the main disappointment. It's a market.
Another market issue, I've been talking to some analysts, this is not a Renault specific, but apparently new emission standards,
yes,
the increases in steel prices,
yes,
are two big challenges that the auto industry has to face. What is Renault going to do about this in 2005? What strategy do you have in place?
Well, in terms of steel prices, it has not been hurting very much Renault yet. I mean, until 2004, because we had some long-term contracts. It will hurt us naturally in the following years. Probably Mr. Schweizer next month will give us, or give you, an estimate of the impact in the future on these cars. So what can we do? Well, we can do nothing about steel prices, but we can do a lot of things about cost reduction and global efficiency of the company, which has been always our challenge. Maybe this time the challenge will be more demanding, more challenging.
My last question is, why are light vehicles doing better than cars?
Light vehicles are doing better than cars, first in terms of market. Let's talk again about Central Europe, if you agree. Markets are decreasing heavily in passenger cars, and they're increasing in terms of LCV. Why? Because the fundamentals of the economy, the fundamentals of the basics of the positive effects of these countries entering Europe are there. I mean, this is a good story, this is a positive story for these markets, and in the long term will be a good story for everybody. We can see it better in the LCV because it's a kind of advanced sign of the future. So future looks positive. These people are building, they're manufacturing, they have to redo a lot of infrastructure, and they need truck, and they need LCV. So that's, I think, the main reason. The passenger market is probably more variable, more saturated than the LCV, which is still increasing because Europe is building itself. So I think that's the main reason. And the second, that's for the market. And for Renault, well, there is a very simple reason. We're increasing like hell, coming from 7% to 12% on the van segment, which was and is our target, just because we have good products.
Great. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.